Duran Premium Cigars, one of the fastest-growing boutique cigar companies, provides smokers a portal into the old Cuban tradition of the perfect balance and the lost art of progressive flavor construction. Roberto Pelayo Duran began his career in tobacco over 2 decades ago in Havana, where his reputation grew within Cuban circles. The creation of Duran Premium Cigars has given Roberto the platform to introduce a series of cigars that offer the quality and construction that he perfected while in Cuba. Brands include the ultra-premium Roberto P. Duran signature line, Azan, Nea, and Baracoa. Duran uses a seed to humidor approach, as all of their tobacco is grown in their farms and rolled in their factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Rollers have been carefully chosen to carry out Roberto's precise method to ensure progressive flavor in each cigar. Duran Premium Cigars invites you to make their premium your standard.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Stogie Geeks show. I want to start our Stogies of the Week segment off because we're just talking about wrap relief. And I don't know how much detail I want to go into the ridiculous deal that I got. There's a big humidor sitting over there, too. And I bought some cigars, a lot of cigars. And one of the cigars that I bought was this EP Carrillo Inch C99. And the C99 indicates Corojo 99, which if we did, I believe, an entire segment on Corojo, and I was reminded of it was an article, and Corojo 99 is the latest native Cuban priming developed for wrap relief in 1999, but also widely planted in Ecuador and other regions. This is an Ecuadorian Corojo 99 that's used on the C99 Inch series. And I got, what does it say in there? Is it the 64? Does that say 64? It's 64, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the 64. So it's 6 1/4 by 64. It's a huge ring gauge.
Yeah.
Might be one of the largest ring gauges I've reviewed on this show. I tell you what, though, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's like your everyday smoking cigar. I mean, it's pretty hefty. There's a lot of tobacco in here, but it's very well balanced. It's got a nice kind of cedary note to it with a little bit of sweetness, and I just love it. I think they're great. I would call this box worthy. I think it more probably earns the 5 rating here on the show. I think these are box worthy, in my opinion, as is evidenced by the box sitting over there in my humidor, which you can't see on camera just yet, but maybe someday on the show we'll give you a sneak peek of the humidor. So these are really good, and again, it's Habano Corojo 99, Ecuadorian Habano Corojo 99, Nicaraguan binder and Dominican fillers. Very, very good offering from EP Carrillo. These debuted in 2014. So
I didn't have that one yet.
They make it in a 7x70 if this isn't big enough for you, Joe.
Yeah. I don't know.
You have one of these for review, so we'll see where you come in.
Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get to that by next week for sure. I just, when I looked at that,
it looks daunting, dude. It's easy to smoke, though. That's one of the things about larger ring gauges. Like you think, it's just going to be a chore to smoke. It's actually a really easy smoke. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. Good medium body.
Okay, cool. I had Crown Heads, 4 Kicks, Corona Gorda. This blend is made in the Carrillo's Dominican factory. Has a reddish Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. Cigar comes in 4 different sizes: the Robusto, the Sublime, the Pyramid, and the Corona Gorda. I actually had the Robusto, which is 5x50, and the Corona Gorda, 5.6 by 46. I like that size.
Which line is this again? I'm sorry.
This was Crowned Heads.
Oh, okay.
4 Kicks.
Yeah, okay.
Right, Crowned Heads, 4 Kicks. It's got a little bit of sweetness that comes right when you first light it up. It's got a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of earthiness comes in, and then it settles in and just mellows out. So that I kind of wished that the that sweetness kind of stayed throughout.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. However, in my other sticks, I did go on a Crown Heads kick this week, I guess. So, but
no pun intended.
Sure. that was one of the things. It starts off really tasty, sweetness, and then it just mellows out. Not to really nothing, but it just mellows out. So I just gave it a 5 because of that.
Mm.
If it stayed there, the rating would have been a little higher. But it's a crazy story. The former heads of CEO, and he came down, started the blend,
Right.
and did that there, and I got into a little bit of the Crown Heads, like I said. So,
What do you think of this cigar that we're smoking, which our cigar of the week is again the CAO Fuma M Corda?
well, I'm still getting that leather component. That's what I'm getting most. The bitterness got a little tame. The lingering of that bitterness.
It's not bitter.
Nope.
As bitter.
Yep.
Little tiny touch, but
Yep. As someone
right, that is leather though. Yeah, I agree with your leather.
To
your
me,
leather assessment.
To me, it's like
it was more earthy to start. Now
it's like leather 101.
Yeah.
But what's driving me crazy about this cigar is I'm a light and take off the label right away.
Yeah, like what we were talking.
I have been fidgeting with this thing from the last segment, trying to figure it out, and I got it to connect now, so I'm no longer crisscrossed, and I'm trying to ever so slightly get it off.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
but it's tight in there. It must have been tied. Must have been hand tied because the way it's tight. Yeah. Because where I removed the label, you could see how it's got a little bit of the indentation there. Did you just peel yours off?
I peeled a little bit off. Is that actually that's tobacco?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's tobacco.
It's not actual rope. It's actually tobacco.
Yeah. I'm assuming you could smoke right through that, but kind of like
let's smoke
the
right
original
through.
leaves.
Could you deal with it if it was there? You just smoke right through it. Yeah. Could you personally deal with that?
It'll probably be off before because I'll either wait and get it off that way.
Yeah.
But I've personally been fidgeting with this thing. I got it to turn. I can turn the roper.
I kind of like it though because if you put your fingers around it, you kind of can hold it right there in between the rope.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those listening understand what I'm talking about. There's rope around it, and it's crisscrossed, and it leaves a little, almost like a perfect groove for your finger to go to smoke the cigar.
Yeah.
Now, once you get to that point, you're not going to be able to hold it there because you're going to burn your fingers off. But
Right. I mean, it's burning well. It's got a good amount of smoke coming off of it. It's tasty for sure. But I do. It's barely medium.
Very leathery.
It's barely medium, and the leather.
It's all about leather.
If you're ever searching, if sometimes when we say a cigar is leathery and you might not know what we're talking about or whatnot, if you smoke this one, I think you'll know exactly what we're talking about there.
Yeah.
It just has that component to it, which I like. Are you lighting yours a little more? The oil, it's an oily wrapper.
It is an oily wrapper. Yeah. No, I haven't had to touch mine up. I might need to touch up now that you say that, but I haven't really had to touch mine up. It produces a nice amount of smoke though, and I do like that. It kind of has a built-in little handle thing.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Oh, so I smoked two of the L'Atelier line. Have you smoked a lot of L'Atelier?
You had given them to me, and I haven't gotten to them.
Yeah,
yet.
well, no, that's fine. Have you smoked others from L'Atelier? They got some good ones in there.
No, I haven't.
In their line. Now, I had two, and I really had high hopes for both. Let's see. I do have them here. So the first one I smoked was L'Atelier Extension de la Racine ER15. That's a mouthful, huh? And that's this one right here with the red band is the Racine, which always reminds me of the movie. What was the gangster movie about Al Capone where he lived at Racine Drive?
Scarface?
Nope. Different one.
The
Untouchables. The Untouchables.
I don't watch. I just saw The Godfather this year.
Okay.
I don't watch a lot of gangster movies.
We're done with this conversation.
I'm Italian, you know what I mean? So I just don't watch gangster movies. It's not that I ban them. I've never saw Sopranos.
Okay.
Never.
Cool.
Smoked a cigar.
Stop.
Great cigar. Right? A phenomenal cigar. Supposedly people are like, you're Italian? Yes. You've never watched Sopranos? I've never watched an episode of The Sopranos. But then again, I don't watch a lot of TV, so wrong person to ask.
I need an alcoholic beverage now.
Oh, you don't like this hipster talk?
Back to this. It is hipster talk. All right, back to the cigar. In 2013, L'Atelier Imports unveiled its version of this extension, dubbed the Extension de la Racine, and there would be a Lonsdale 6 3/4 by 43, which is what I smoked. And give you the statistics behind it. It's a nice looking cigar. It is Nicaraguan sun-grown Criollo. Let's look at that. We got a country. We got somewhat of the methodology, sun-grown, and Criollo. We have a plant.
Yep.
A seed type. So Nicaraguan sun-grown Criollo and binder and filler from Nicaragua. That's all we have on that. This one was just okay. Like, I smoked a couple, and it was, I know. I correct myself. I smoked one, and it was just okay. It was maybe like between try one and fiver, like a 3-pack for me. So and again, I'm going to come back and revisit that. Let's see. It was released in 2015, and Half Wheel has a review, and it got a 93. So maybe I'm missing something there. I got to go back and revisit that one. But for right now, my rating is a 3-pack. I don't know if that's we need to come up with a rating between fiver and try one. Anyway, the one that I smoked that I liked a lot better is the regular L'Atelier line that I'm holding up right here. And this is the regular Lancero 7.5 by 38. This one was really good, dude. I like this one a lot. This one's box worthy for sure. It didn't have as much strength. Oh, it was still pretty strong. Didn't seem as strong as the Racine, not to compare them. They are different blends. I don't actually know what the blend is on the regular LAT line. Do you know what that? I can look that up. But that one I would call box worthy for sure. This was a really awesome smoking Lancero, box worthy L'Atelier Lancero. I'll get you the blend in a moment. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, I had the Los Cavaleros Edición Limitada,
Yes.
2016. It came out in, obviously, 2016 by Crown Heads. They wanted to, it came from the inspiration from the Mexican holiday, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. For those of you who don't know when that is, that's November 2nd. There. And let me tell you, the wrapper, you have a Connecticut broadleaf, binder, filler, Nicaraguan, loose draw, right? However, you do have notes of coffee and pepper all over the stick.
Sorry to interrupt you really quick. I should have known what this was.
That's okay.
This is the Ecuadorian Sancti de Spiritus wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and filler. That was a very popular wrapper type that we talked about on the show. So that's the L'Atelier LAT Lancero is what they call it. Sorry, continue.
That's okay. In regards to the Los Cavaleros wrapper, Connecticut broadleaf, binder and filler, Nicaraguan, loose draw. However, it does hold together good coffee notes, and I was picking up notes of pepper, but it wasn't strong pepper. Like, you know how some cigars, it seemed to be a little bit medium strength in the pepper, but you know, I think they're good to let them sit, but it's a very popular stick in the shop because it is limited, comes out in a certain time over there. And like I said, it's got a nice burn and flavor. I would definitely give this a 5-er, and maybe even a slightly higher rating there. What I did like about it is right towards the end, it gives a little kick. It kicks in to a slightly stronger cigar. Have you ever had one of these?
Yeah, I have. I think I reviewed it. I don't remember what I thought of it, but
so I gave it a 5-er. I might give it a little higher rating there, but for sure, it's definitely, if you find it on the shelf, check it out. What I did like about that over the 4 kicks that I had is that the 4 kicks kind of died out towards the end, and this one kind of kicked up towards the end. So it was good.
Have you had the regular New Wave line from EP Carrillo?
Yes. The Connecticut?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you like that line?
Yes, now you're gonna make me look up on. I did post something like that on our Stogie Geeks. Hold on.
We've reviewed some of these in the past.
See what I gave it.
So I bought two different sizes. I bought the El Decano, which is their 6x60, which I actually smoked earlier. These have been out for a while, since 2013. And I smoked the Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is these cigars smoked completely different. The Churchills I did not like really much at all, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The two or three that I had were just okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when I smoked the El Decano, the Gordo or 6x60, every single one of these I've had, Joe, has been absolutely awesome. And again, I think it's we skip over these big ring gauge cigars. These have probably been sitting around for a while because not everyone is a big ring gauge smoker. You don't feel like you're smoking a 6x60 for whatever reason, the way that it's blended. Again, I think Ernesto does a really great job of blending those bigger ring gauges, 60 and above, so they're just easy to smoke. It just pours sweetness. It's got some slight earthy and woody notes to it. Very, very smooth. It is a fantastic Connecticut offering. I would call it box worthy all day long. Just unbelievable the way it delivers that silky smooth and nice creamy sweetness on your palate every single time. Great smoking time, light one of these up first thing in the morning.
What size is that you have?
This is a El Decano 6x60, the Gordo.
Really? Yeah, I don't
There's a
know.
box of them sitting right there.
Yeah,
I gave you one.
Yeah.
To review.
Yeah, definitely. I like the smaller size so far, but definitely I'll check it out.
Yeah, the Stella was the smallest size. That was a
Mhm.
little Corona, and I used to smoke those. Haven't seen those in a while, but I some of those other sizes. Again, the Churchill was a try one, and the Gordo 6x60 was the box worthy, which is amazing. So make sure you check those out. Those I did get on close. I don't know why people aren't buying them. And we find these on closeout. I don't understand what's wrong. What is wrong with people today? I shouldn't be able to buy these on closeout. You should be paying regular price for these cigars. They shouldn't be on closeout because they're awesome.
Depends on the size of the humidor.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Depends on the size of the humidor,
What's
of,
moving,
of
what's
what
not.
the store is, and what's moving. If it's in a smaller humidor that maybe has 300 facings instead of 600 facings,
Yeah.
I think that makes a big difference. For sure.
Well, and what we've heard from cigar manufacturers over the years is that every shop is different. Not just every region. Every region has its trends, but every single shop is different. And we see that here in Rhode Island, Joe, because we've got a shop every couple of miles here in Rhode Island, it seems like.
Yeah.
And every shop is different. What sells in one shop doesn't necessarily sell in another shop that's down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think we're almost in the 40s.
wow.
And for those of you who never made it to Rhode Island, if there's no traffic, you can drive through it in 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when there's no traffic. So, you think about maybe the size of, say, Alexandria, Virginia, D.C. metro of being Rhode Island and sticking 40 cigar shops in that.
Right.
That's
And nowhere near as populated as the D.C. metro area.
No, but I'm just trying to give some of the listeners that,
like how small our state
like
really
how
is.
small our state really is, and how cigar shops, like even right next to the studio here at Stogie Geeks, we have 5 within less than a mile. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have 5.
Because
And there's rumors that there's 6, the one near Valley Country Club. So we have 6. So we have 6 right within a mile radius of the studio here.
You counting East Greenwich? The 3 in East Greenwich?
Oh, no. No, I wasn't even counting those. Okay, well, something more than a mile. Well, yeah, he's got.
That's
so
more
within
than a mile. Yeah.
Within a mile and a half, we have 9. 9 of the 40 right here. So yeah, so absolutely, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. So yeah, absolutely. La Imperiosa, you ever have that? La Imperiosa.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. You got a big burst of pepper coming right at you.
Yes.
As soon as you go there, what I like is when you get into it, the pepper kind of subsides, but it's still tasty, very dense with a dark a dark pepper flavor. Also, they according to some reviews that you're picking up some of the dark fruit. I don't really know what's classified really as a dark fruit.
The flute?
But I did get a lot of the earth tones that they were having with that cigar. It's available in 4 different sizes, and I had the Petite Robusto. That's 4.5 by 52. Binder and filler are Nicaraguan, and the wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro. That was the La Imperiosa. Definitely box split for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had the slightly bigger size. I don't know. I'm just digging some of the smaller sizes. I don't know if it's summertime and I tend to gravitate towards some of the smaller size cigars as opposed to the wintertime, but that's where I stand with that. Box split. Check it out.
Awesome. What else you got?
Well, I can't get enough of this cigar. I walk into one specific shop, and the shop owner is like, "Are you going to get off that cigar yet?" I says, "No, not yet."
Mm-hmm.
It's the Sereno Royale 20th Anniversary Maduro. I had the Toro size. I've had the Robusto size. The Robusto size is 5 1/8 by 48. Comes in boxes of 20. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano 2000. Binder and filler is Nicaraguan. And let me tell you, for Nicaraguan binder and filler, I still pick up a sweetness with this cigar. It's just and I guess it's a pretty new cigar.
Which one is this again?
It's
sorry.
the Sereno
I haven't smoked
Sereno Royale 20th Anniversary Maduro.
I don't think I've smoked the Sereno stuff yet.
No? Yeah, there's one particular shop that had it, and they have they have a Connecticut version as well, and the Maduro. I tend to gravitate towards the Maduro, and the Maduro Robusto, which size was, like I said, 5 1/8 by 48. It's a good smoke. And like I said, for Nicaraguan, sometimes they can be a little stronger. It's pretty tame, but it's got a good sweetness component that I like. I gave it a box worthy. I would definitely pick up a box of these cigars. Great if you're fishing, golfing, or driving around in the tank.
I like that.
Because
drive my tank.
It's
smoke my cigars.
It's a portable cigar. It's a good cigar. It constructs well. It's awesome. So if you haven't had a chance to check them out, go for it.
Sweet. What else we got? I think that's really all I had.
That's my 4. Well,
Yeah,
I had 3 4 kicks and
yeah.
3 4 kicks, and then that. I've it's been a fast. It was a fast week.
Yeah, and we got my new humidor over there in the studio. We got to work
Paul's
through
proud of his
reviewing
new
some
humidor.
stuff. Yeah. And I gave you some. We'll talk about next week. Some pretty well aged Tatuaje Noeas. So I'm trying to see what I have over there. You guys did the 7th Capa Especial from Tatuaje.
Mm-hmm.
I have in there the 7th Reserva, which we've talked about on the show before. But a good time to revisit some of that stuff as well. So, yes. So we have that. And coming up next.
What do you think about this?
Oh, let's go.
Final
I'm
thoughts.
glad you reminded me.
Yes, because
we always forget.
I know we do. Sometimes
Talk about the cigar that I think it's really good. I would call it a 5er in my book. It hasn't really changed up in flavor in a little while. It's kind of just like that leathery component's there.
Yep.
It starts out with leather and earth. It transitions to leather. That bitterness component isn't there on the finish anymore, but I would call it a 5er.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's a good smoke. If you have a chance to check it out. Apparently, you can pick these up online too, right?
I think you can buy any cigar online if
If
you ask us.
I'm not a proponent of shopping online. Just saying,
It's a very controversial topic. Yes.
if there's any listeners that are that want to try it out and search for that leather
Yes.
component, then they can search for
you
it.
should support your local tobacconist as well.
No, you should, but I wouldn't imagine that a local tobacconist would burn through a lot of these stuff.
Yeah.
From a retail perspective, if there's so much other choices.
No, I agree. I
you
agree.
know, it's just it would be on maybe potentially close out soon and whatnot, unless they would have to have a lot of hype behind it.
Well, and they do have a lot of hype behind it. I want to go back and find some of those Amazon basins. I'm curious to see. Those were very highly sought after and reviewed. So I'm curious to see. And then I also want to smoke the Anaconda, right? They said that was the final one in the line. So
you have any thoughts on the interview that the guests
Oh,
are
can't.
see next?
The
I
interview.
keep calling them guests. I'm sorry. The listeners are going to see
Yes.
next.
The listeners are going to see a fantastic interview with Manuel Anoa, who was here not only for a fantastic interview, but also did some blending seminars in the region. I really want to get a hold of the blending kits because their new cigar, the DNA, is part of the new blending kit. So we're working on trying to get a hold of some of those to give you our thoughts on the new blending kit. Before is the blending seminars were Preferido blended, Preferido blend. This one is the DNA.
Are we going to do a segment on that?
I'd like if we can, we can get a hold of the blend. Yes, absolutely. We did a segment a while ago on the Preferidos.
Yeah,
it'd be fun to go through this one together. So
yeah, absolutely.
With that, we will turn it over to Manuel Anoa.